we get ready for Earth Day with how you can act locally while thinking globally.
It is Wednesday, April 20th, and this is Great Day Washington.
Right after the break, Chris and Marquette learn how to act locally while thinking globally with Earth Day tips from the conservation organization RARE.
Y'all having a good time out there.
Welcome back to Great Day Washington. Earth Day is this Friday.
And we've got 3 easy ways for you to act locally while thinking globally.
And here to tell us how is Carl Davis. He's Vice President of the International Conservation Organization known as RARE. Welcome, Carl.
Nice to be here, Marquette. Nice to be here with you also, Chris.
Good, and it's nice to have those tips that you're going to help us out to conserve. Right?
Yeah, ready to share.
All right,
ready
good.
to share.
What's the first tip?
So, the first tip is that when we think about conservation, most people think about it as what we can't do, like bad things. We think there are a lot of positive things you can do with conservation.
That's a good point.
Tip number 1, think about the seafood that's on your plate.
Okay.
You know, in the U.S., we consume about 5 billion pounds of seafood in a year.
Wow.
And about 90% of that is unsustainable from countries that have laws that aren't as rigorous as some of the rules we have here in the U.S. So what does that mean? It means that we over-deplete our fish supplies in the ocean. So how you shop every day for your seafood affects millions of people and ecosystems all around the world.
So should you look for a little sign at the fish section of the store that says sustainably grown or sustainably sourced, or should you eat less fish? What should you do?
So here are a couple things you can do. So to the little sign thing, you can look, if you're in the store like Whole Foods, there is a little green seal from the Marine Stewardship Council, and you can just look at that little emblem and let you know that seafood is sustainably sourced. But you know, a good thing to do in any store is just to have a conversation with the person who's behind that counter. But there are a couple things that we can do a little bit different too, just on our own without labels. In the U.S., we tend to eat 5 types of seafood. We tend to like canned tuna, salmon, shrimp, tilapia, and pollock. That's most of what we eat. So just by diversifying what you eat, you can become more sustainable. Think local. Look for local fish. Think about things that you can get from your local market. You know, one of the things I love is that with technology now, there are ways to actually help us find that information.
Okay.
You can go to Seafood Watch and download their app, and it will tell you which seafood has less impact on our environment.
I love that.
Well, let's go over to freshwater. How about keeping our rivers safe and clean?
So keeping our rivers safe and clean is really important because we all know the importance of fresh water. You know, fresh water is only 1% of what's on our planet, but it's where 35% of our species of vertebrate live. So it's really important to us. So one of the #1 things you can do, the weather is great, it's spring. You know, go out and participate in a cleanup of our river basins. We have great watersheds around our region. And one big tip coming up for Earth Day this weekend, one of my favorite organizations is the Anacostia Watershed Society, and they're actually hosting a river cleanup this weekend starting at 9 a.m. to noon, and it takes place at 31 sites all over the metropolitan area. So just go to their website and you can sign up.
We have too many waterways around this area between the Potomac River, Anacostia, the Chesapeake Bay watershed not to care about our water cleanup.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But connected to that is agricultural fertilizer.
Yes.
Tell us how we can be responsible in that way to the environment.
So believe it or not, agriculture is one of the #1 ways that we pollute our watershed. So things that we do, here again, just simple behaviors that we can take just to change our environmental impact. So #1 suggestion here is join a consumer-supported agriculture agency, organization known as a CSA. What does a CSA allow you to do? It basically allows you to buy local produce from a local farmer, and you buy a share. So there's one that we love, Little Farm Stand, as an example. You get a box of produce every week. They deliver it to your home. For 15 weeks, you can do it for $375. And I think the great thing about a CSA, this is from my personal experience, I'm not a big vegetable person, but you get this box of surprises every week, and you'd be surprised at what you like that you didn't know you like. So it's a great way to explore, particularly if you have kids.
It's healthier too. My husband did one through his job. It was a corporate CSA, and every week we got this little bag and it was like, oh, a rutabaga, okay. So it just became like this fun little experiment in our family.
I love rutabagas.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't know. Hey, thank you so much for giving us those tips and helping us with
But
this.
he brought some friends, Chris.
You did?
Tell
what
us
happened?
about your...
Where are they? Hey, there they are.
They are in the Great Day
So
audience.
this is Malloy and Jacko. Malloy is actually one of our executives at Rare. He's our Chief Inspiration Officer.
How do you get a suit? Does he
I
wear a
would
suit
love
for
to
it?
report to an executive like that.
I know, so we
Seems
think that
fun.
conservation can be fun at Rare, and we use these mascots to create pride in species all over the world so that people care about more what's in their backyard.
And the white one is a grouper fish, which is not one of
that's
the
Malloy,
top five.
and that's Jacko on the other side, who's a pair from St. Lucia, who was one of our first campaigns to get people to really care about the species in their environment.
Well, thank you so much, Carl Davis, and the organization is called Rare.
Yeah, please go to rare.org and learn more about our work.
Will do.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming here. Great to have you.